Well, that familiar sound of campaign carnivals being scrambled across Nigeria can be heard almost daily now in city centers and on television and radio. The rise in campaign rallies and flurry of political events is coming ahead of next month's presidential election, with candidates from the PDP, the APC, the Labour Party and the NNPP among a clutch of 18 contenders vying for the top job. So it's all a big point-scoring contest at the moment, accompanied by loads of personal attacks, especially between the APC and the PDP. So what has set the tone of this election in that increasingly bitter and unpleasant direction? How much has it become so much more about personal attacks? Well, for his assessment of all things political, I'm joined now in the studio by the noted public policy expert and supporter of Atiku Abubakar and the PDP, Professor Usman Yusuf. Thank you very much. Great to see you again, and Happy New Year, because I haven't seen you this year.
Happy New Year.
Let's start with Osun State. How much has this development there, the sacking of the PDP Governor Ademola Adeleke, thrown a wrench into the election works for the PDP, if nowhere else, at least in Osun State?
I tell you, and it would be presumptuous for me to talk about Osun when you had somebody from Osun, Waziri Adio.
Yeah, but he's not in the PDP, and you are a supporter
of the
gave you the
landscape. But I will tell you this, I mean, this thing will be contested. It will be in court. And Governor Adeleke will have his day in court. And this will be overturned. I have no doubt about that.
But, well, I mean, the question is, on what basis would it be overturned?
On the basis that he got there elected the correct way. I mean, I was surprised to hear that there were three judges on the panel, just 3 judges to decide the... Anyway, it will go up and it will be...
So it will go through the entire system?
Absolutely, it will go through the process. And let's allow the law to take its course. And I saw a beautiful piece on his official Twitter handle asking his people to remain calm. And that is leadership. Remain calm and allow the process to go through.
Well, you weren't expecting him to say, get out there with sticks and stones.
But there are people saying revolution, revolution. And there, senior people contesting for the presidency, talking crap on the hustings, revolution. But this is leadership. Our supporters remain calm. And this is what we're telling our people all across this country. You have been patient over the last 8 years. You've been patient and prayerful. Now is your time to change this government that has shown you hell over the last 8 years. Line up and vote. Your PVC is stronger than AK-47 or AK-49. No insults, no blackmail, no threats. Line up and your votes must count, and they will count. And that is why we are here, to make sure that the votes of our people count. Osun State will be sorted out through the law, and this is how it should be.
Well, let's move away from Osun State to the wider national ballot. How do you think this contest is evolving at the national level? Is it all black and white and clear cut, or are there lots of murky grey areas there?
Well, for us, it's clear. And I will tell you this, the APC is panicking. They're in a panic mode. That is why they are screaming, oh, we will take the PDP candidate to court. If you wanted to do that, don't talk. If you want to shoot, shoot. Don't talk. And then recently, their candidate is coming out to say, oh, this fuel scarcity and the Naira redesign is aimed at sabotaging my chances at the polls. So who is he talking to? Who are those trying to sabotage him? And he's saying, let's change them. Change who? They are so confused. I feel really sorry for them. This is the time they can be dangerous and impulsive. All we're telling our people is your PVC. Get your PVCs, line up, and vote for a candidate of your choice. And we're guiding them and telling them why Atiku Abubakar is the right candidate to choose, why it will be suicidal for them to re-elect APC again.
Right, but the campaigns, as you said, we're seeing a lot of personal attacks. I mean, because it's also coming from the PDP, whether it's in reaction, they're both sort of throwing mud at each other. Is it your sense that it's becoming increasingly bitter and unpleasant?
Right, and this is the nature of the beast, especially here, and that's why karma heads like us jump into the trenches to tell our people, let the screamy ones go and scream at the hustings. We are the ones telling the people, educating the people as to why our candidate is better than any other candidate. These are the things he will do. And we're not in any way, you will never hear from my mouth saying bad things about the others. I've said on this program that they are honorable men. Our candidate is better. Our candidate is a candidate that will see us through this ditch.
So you don't think it's a plus for your candidate that there's all this focus on the APC presidential candidate's mental capacity and whether or not it's deteriorating?
Right, no, I'm a doctor, physician, 41 years and counting. And I have been saying this before anybody else says that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in my opinion, as a physician, 41 years and counting, practice in Nigeria, the United Kingdom, and the United States, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not in the best of health to contest for the presidency of this country. We have seen that physically. You do not need to be a physician to see that.
Yeah, but the key thing is his mental health.
Absolutely. I mean, Charles, most of the things he says, you don't even understand what he said. Bulu, bulu, bala, bala. What in the world is that? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Nigerians, we are playing with the future of this country. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been spoiled by Lagos over the last 23 years, and he's still holding the power in Lagos. Nobody contests whatever he does. Now he is in the big arena. He's running away from scrutiny. And he is surprised people are challenging him. People are asking him to do that. Well, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it is you want Nigerians to vote for the president. Do not subcontract that to praise singers or these governors that have failed us. Come and talk to us. Expose yourself to us. We see that in Kaduna and in Kano when he goes, oh, he's not going to talk, he will dance for 5 minutes and then leave. We feel insulted. Our people are educated enough politically to know Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a damaged goods and is not the person to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A person who mentally has issues. Half the time he's sleeping. He cannot hold cup. He cannot stand, cannot sit. You want to entrust the lives of 200 million Nigerians to the hand of somebody who cannot do it? Please bring us somebody who could fight the fight.
And the PDP must be rubbing its hands in glee, given that one of his former campaign directors, Najatu Mohammed, has apparently crossed over to support Atiku Abubakar.
Right, Najatu Mohammed, I've known Najah for a very long time, and I tell people Najah is a force of nature. Don't mess with her. She has a focus, she knows what she wants. But most importantly is her people that are in her mind. She's been in this struggle for over 40 years. Not only her phobias were NEPU, Aminu Kanos. They fought MPC. So she was born in the trenches. She is in the trenches. Don't mess with her. And she has the scars to show for that. She lost her husband in the struggle. She nearly got killed by being poisoned. So she is talking from the heart. I mean, here you are. She goes and asks Tinubu, what do you have for the North? Nothing. He has nothing. So we as fellow Nigerians, we people in the North, we are asking all these our governors that are going around selling Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So you did not ask him what he has for your people before you got whatever you got. And you're selling him, for goodness sake, I've said it, Charles, politics is local. I do not go to Kano state issues or Anambra state issues if I do not address Katsina state issues. So you're supporting somebody, you've not asked him, what is he going to do for your people? It is Nigeria that asked him, and this gentleman said it has nothing for her people. The guy cannot even hold teacup. If he cannot hold a teacup, how can you hold this nation?
Well, the APC has disputed that line of hers.
Then let him expose himself, like I'm talking to you. People watching now will tell if I have some issues or not, even if they are not doctors. Expose him to Nigerians. He's holding us in contempt. He's going to Chatham House to talk there in a scripted form, when you do not talk to the people that are going to vote for you. 93 million eligible voters will make that choice.
So do you think that is what has set the tone of this election, and that's why there's so much personal attacks?
No, from the outset. From the outset, I know, and I've said it publicly, I've never been shy. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, issues we have with him primarily is the vehicle that is bringing him into this platform, APC. APC has failed us in all its ramifications. They failed in all the three promises they came. So what are you coming to tell us, APC, especially in Katsina? Number one, the vehicle he came with is a rotten vehicle. You cannot change a driver and expect that vehicle to go. Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself, Bola Ahmed, a lot of, if not all the things about Bola Ahmed Tinubu are questionable.
Right, you talked about the APC and the promises they made. One of them, of course, security. Questions are being asked at the moment of the security services after at least 28 people, including pastoralists, were killed in an airstrike. It happened in a community in Nasarawa State. I'm sure you're aware of that. It's the latest in a number of incidents where civilians have been killed when authorities claim to be targeting insurgents. The Nigerian Air Force is said to have mistakenly bombed the civilians, yet this is the 8th such attack since 2017, when security operations has led to innocent civilians dying, yet no officials have been held responsible. What are your thoughts about this raid and how these civilians died?
I mean, Charles, and it's not some pastoralists were killed. No. Innocent pastoralists were targeted by the Air Force, either drone or a jet, and killed. What happened was that in Benue State, this irresponsible, excuse my language, bring him over here to answer to what I said. Samuel Autumn of Benue State is the most irresponsible governor, bar none, from his words and deeds. He has put draconian an irresponsible law in Benue State of banning open grazing. When Fulani herders go to graze their cattle, they are seized by a militia, whatever he calls them. So their cattle was seized and taken custody, and they taxed them 27 million naira for them to collect their cattle. They didn't have money. It took them time to collect the money. And they went and paid this illegal tax of 27 million and collected their cattle, about 1,000 cattle. They were moving out of Benue State into Nasarawa State, and kaboom, the Air Force came and bombed them.
Yeah, but I don't see how you can hold Autumn
is
responsible for that. I mean, he's trying to keep his state following what he perceives to be a threat from a particular group of people.
If you are a leader, we've been here, you've asked me about what Autumn said. Autumn is the most irresponsible, and I say it again, why is your camera, is the most irresponsible governor, bar none, from his words and from his deeds. You cannot do what he's doing now. Thieves and Fulanis have lived together in Benue State for generations, and it is a sign of poor leadership of Autumn that you are having this incessant crisis.
But shouldn't the focus be, because I mean the topic here really is about that attack, which is a mistake, another attack where innocent people were targeted. It doesn't really matter who the person is. They're
what
innocent
started
people.
it?
Right.
You need to look at the genesis. If there was no this draconian rule that illegally confiscated the cattle of these people and levied them illegally, there wouldn't have been this. So let us not be shy about calling a spade a spade. This is what started it. Number one. Number two, and this had nothing to do with ethno-religious crisis. None, not at all.
Right.
These are innocent people. And let me tell you this, Charles. I am telling you this with all the passion in this world. You know that I was the secretary of that committee set up by the Chief of Defense.
Yes, I was coming to that, actually.
Yes.
I was coming to that because we've heard the governor of Nasarawa State speaking about this, echoing the strong sentiments of community groups who are wondering how yet another mistake occurred, yet another village erroneously bombed by the Air Force, another community. You, as I said, were part of the Chief of Defense Staff's team engaging bandits and terrorists to ensure safety corridors are maintained. What would you recommend should happen now following this incident?
Well, you know, what brought out that attack, that March 28 attack of those terrorists that killed 9 people and took hostage of 63
That's
people.
on the Kaduna-Abuja
Absolutely,
train.
Kaduna-Abuja. And the governor of Nasarawa State. And I would like to condole him because he lost his first son yesterday. Was on the air yesterday on channel. And alluded to what happened in 2021. The attack of the military around Toro Forest. He said there were terrorists, gang of terrorists there. They were attacked by the military. They ran away, they fled and left their family members. All the guys that attacked that rail station demanded the release of those children. It was 2 years later. And they are the same bunch of terrorists that attacked Kuje prison. We entered here, we were trying to solve this problem. The 7 of us on this committee, responsible patriots that provided our services pro bono. We gave 6 months of our lives to do this. And we successfully got everybody out. And we're still engaging.
So this muddies
leaders,
the waters.
Yeah, we are engaging leaders to have this safe corridor, and then you have this again. You have this again. So this must be fully investigated by the military. The military must own up.
Right.
Must own up there was a mistake if it was a mistake done. Fully investigated. Who ordered this young pilot to go and drop ordnance on people? Or who sent that drone if it was a drone? The presidency must investigate this. And people must be fully compensated. The military must take responsibility. The government of Nasarawa State must quickly, as a matter of urgency, reach out to Fulani elders and leaders and see how they can calm things down. We cannot afford this. This has set us back years.
It's a very sad thing that has happened.
It is.
But let me move away from that because we've got about just a couple of minutes left. I wanted to get your thoughts about a number of things. One of them is about the redesign of the Naira. How much has that hurt the PDP and politicians like Atiku Abubakar? Because we see other politicians moaning about it.
They are moaning, and the chief mourner is the chief APC, is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He came yesterday in Osun State, spoke to his people in Yoruba.
Ogun State.
Ogun State, and said, oh yeah, the redesign of the Naira and fuel scarcity they are measures meant to sabotage his chances at the polls by them. Who is them? He's the grandfather of APC. APC is in government. Who is them? The president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is APC. It is their policy. This fuel scarcity is the misgovernance of the APC. In a government where you have plenty, we have never seen this industrial quantity bunkering. Fuel has gone from where they found it, 90-something, to 900. God. So this is their policy, so it's dog eat dog. They are fighting themselves.
Well, what about the divisiveness in the PDP? I mean, talk us through that. Where do things stand at the moment?
Where? The G5?
Well, the G5,
G5
amongst others.
No, the G5, we are continuing. The campaign is almost closing.
Yeah, but they could really hit you if they suddenly came out well, the G5, if they came out and suddenly switched sides at this late stage.
Right. So
it would really hurt you, especially with Osun State now on the blink, as far as you're concerned. That means another big state.
Yeah. Do you see us losing?
Potentially.
Yeah. Do you see us losing sleep? The closer we get to the polls, the more irrelevant they become. The train is moving. No stopping it. The train is moving. They are there all making the noise in funny costumes, including that irresponsible Governor Autumn. Instead of staying in his state and making sure security is brought to his state, he is carrying the bag of wiki going all over the place. I mean, the closer it gets to election, the more irrelevant they are. We don't even know about them all over. Northwest has 21 million votes, the largest voting bloc. We don't know what they are talking about.
On that note, I want to thank you, Professor Usman Yusuf. It's always jolly exciting having you in the studio. And he is, of course, the noted public policy expert, medical doctor, and supporter of Atiku Abubakar and the PDP. Thank you very much.